moment to breathe, grab a beverage or two. We got professional guests with lots of stories for you. So take a seat right here and join us on Careers Over Beers.
It's kind of hard for me, but it saddens me to say Jesse's not with us anymore. He actually died in a boating accident over the weekend. So I will be taking over from here. My name is the Homie Seth, and he had legally stated that I will be the new host of Careers Over Beers upon fatal injury. So I don't have a guest today. I figured you just kind of get to know me a little bit and kind of my relationship with Jesse. So me and Jesse met at a strip club. He was stripping at the time. This is before the podcast. And I was just a customer. It was a gay strip club.
Alright, what the fuck is going on here?
Okay, you got me. He's alive.
No, I'm Jesse's tan, bearded brother.
Oh, yeah. You've never been on here with a beard before.
I've never had a beard on here before. Beard's weird.
So today, I'm just Jesse's friend. You might have seen me on the episode where we interviewed a rapper. But today, we're going to interview Jesse for a between-season episode. It'll be fun. And Jesse has to legally, we had our lawyer sign off this, answer any question that I have to ask.
Yeah, I have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Anything you say, I answer truthfully.
Right. So I figured we'd start off with something light.
Sure.
Who's your worst guest?
My worst guest ever?
Yeah.
Was actually not really a guest. It was more of a co-host.
Yeah.
It was episode 15 rapper. I think that was you, actually.
Was it?
Yeah. It's weird.
I have no recollection.
Yeah, other than that, though, they've all been great.
Okay.
Yeah, can't say there's been one.
It's just the only one. So why are you so tan? What happened?
I got all tan I've been gone.
Yeah. We saw your post on Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah, you're flexing.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it. Some would say too much. I downloaded it.
You downloaded it?
I didn't want you to delete it. I had to take it.
Yeah, very good. I've been gone. Yeah, I haven't posted anything in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Just getting all tan and beautiful and bearded,
you know? So you ended on what episode?
Ended on episode 47, so
you want to
kind of jack that one up.
Want to explain that decision for us?
Yeah, I could have gone to episode 48, but I was like, I'd rather do 2 weeks at the lake than 1 week.
You know, in his defense, I upload content too, and Jesse has been extremely busy with his podcasting thing. He just uploads all the time. I can't do that. He's swamped, so he takes breaks. Me, I upload a video and I take like a 2-week, 3-week break. So you have to give him credit.
But it's not a podcast. You don't have, well, you do have seasons and you drop weekly when you're doing a season, but you're not doing something continuously for 40 episodes.
No, but I couldn't. That's the thing. I don't have it in me.
Okay.
I also don't have a whole studio either. So
yeah, that sucks. I can't imagine.
Dude, yeah, you have a studio?
Yeah.
Oh, where do you do your work at?
Yeah. Where do you edit your stuff at? So don't tell me you have a home studio. Oh God.
Don't even have a home.
Right. Next question, sir.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah. No. Have you ever talked about how you got into podcasting?
A little bit.
On your podcast?
Yeah. Do you want a shotgun a beer first?
I don't want a shotgun a beer.
Before anything?
No, you can.
I kind of want to.
It's your episode.
Should we?
Yeah.
This is my episode. This is the lost episode of Careers Over Beers.
It's 2017 right now. He's trying to make.
I've only shotgun once on this podcast before.
Yeah,
it was with.
It was
truly.
Horrible.
It was awful.
It did bad.
After a long week at the lake, doing a bunch of shotguns.
Yeah, you're ready.
I'm ready to do this.
Let's see it.
Let's fucking do this.
Let's see it. He's getting crazy.
I'm getting crazy.
It's his episode, folks. I don't know. You're just with me.
All right.
Let's see her.
See if I can get this thing cracked. Okay.
We're off to a race.
Tell me when.
Your time. Your show. Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah, you're dripping.
Set. Go.
Holy shit!
Woo! I'm back, baby.
Get yourself another beer.
Ryan Denny, you're the one that made me shotgun last. You were the beer sales rep.
Yeah.
Take that shit. He called me weak. He called me slow.
A beer sales
called me
rep
old.
that brought Truly to an episode.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about
what the hell
your
was
feelings.
he thinking?
Let's talk about that.
I was offended by that.
Yeah, you would think this would be like his holy grail of where to support his best
Exactly.
beers.
It's Careers Over Beers podcast.
Yeah.
He's a beer sales representative.
You don't sell beers by fucking putting up Trulies on a podcast.
No.
What is he thinking?
I don't know. He's not very bright.
So let's talk about the future of Careers Over Beers. Where do you want this thing to go? What's your goal? You just doing it for fun?
Oh, no. My goal is to at least be a billionaire.
We're going to do this?
At least.
Right.
No, actually, I don't have any goals. You know that.
Yeah. Super non-ambitious.
No.
With you.
I mean, billionaire, yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of a given, though, if you podcast long enough.
Yeah. There's this little podcaster. I don't know if you know him. His name is Joey
Joe
Reagan?
Rogan?
Joey Reagan.
Joe Reagan.
Joey Reagan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joe Rogan.
Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah. Oh, I've heard of that guy, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's kind of copying you a little bit.
That's what I've been told. People reach out to me all the time, like all my fans, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, this guy Joe Reagan in Texas is...
It's Joey Reagan. Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah, Joey Reagan or whatever.
Yeah.
This dude's copying your podcast idea. He sits down with guests at a table and they...
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I can't believe it. I mean...
It's ridiculous.
If I cared more, I would do something about it.
Stick to your little fighting business, buddy.
Yeah,
you
stick
know
to being a little UFC commentator.
Yeah, okay. Know your fucking place, Joey. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I will admit, ever since you started doing this, I've seen so many clones. Chris D'Elia, Tom Segura,
dude,
and Joey Reagan.
I'm telling you, if you just get on Spotify and go to the podcast section, there's so many now.
Yes. And you know what? The best thing though is it's Careers Over Beers first, and then you see the
because I was the first one.
You're the first one to even. How'd you even come up with the word podcast?
I just thought, radio, broadcasting, and I was thinking like. This is more of like a pod instead of a broad.
Yeah.
Because we're like in a little pod type studio.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I just thought podcast was a good term for it.
Yeah.
And
ever since then.
People have adopted it, dude.
It's like you created your own genre of thing.
Yeah. I'm not going to take credit for it.
I mean, some would say, right, and it's not me.
Yeah.
But it's a ripoff of a talk show.
Yeah. They would.
Not me, though.
No, not you.
No, I would never.
So, I came up with this idea, as you know, like 20 years ago. And I didn't start dropping content until 2020 or 2021.
No, guys, he's not even kidding. Like, there were so many days where he would talk to me and be like, dude, I've got like 10 episodes in the bag, but he would not fucking upload.
I wasn't ready to release yet. I was like, I gotta wait.
So nervous about actually posting it.
I will be honest, guys. The first day I dropped one of these episodes, I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna see me talking like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I do sound like an idiot in the first ones. I still sound like an idiot.
Every time I play a podcast in front of him, one of his, he literally says, shut that fucking shit off.
That's enough.
He said, stop playing that shit.
Yep, that's enough.
Was it weird seeing yourself on video and hearing your own voice, and you haven't been in like too much content creation before this?
Oh no. Yeah, it's horrible. I still don't like listening to my voice. Mm-hmm. If I hear somebody playing it or if I play it back just to edit or do something, I'm like, oh my God, why did I say that word? Why didn't I respond like this?
Yeah. So what's your favorite platform to post this shit on? Is it YouTube, Spotify?
Dude, when I first started doing this, I would talk to you about doing this, like Spotify, Apple. That's where the big podcasters are. That's where most people listen to podcasts. But I've enjoyed this YouTube thing too.
Yeah, it's addicting.
I like doing the YouTube shit because the way it lays out all the analytics, creating the thumbnails for everything.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But what's the worst part about it?
Looking at my numbers.
It sucks, dude. It sucks. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Well, you got 2K subscribers now?
Yeah.
Are you at 1.2 officially?
No.
No, okay.
1.194. See how bad that is? You see how bad it is? It's an addiction.
It is an addiction. And I remember your only goal for a while was just to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
You're like, once I get to 1,000, I'll be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Because that's when you can monetize, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That and 4,000 hours of watch time.
Yeah.
Which is impossible to get.
Is it?
It's so hard. Well, not for you. Yeah, hour-long podcast.
That's true. I guess it just depends on what you're doing.
And you're bigger than Joey Reagan.
Yeah,
and that helps.
That too. That does help a lot.
Help.
Yeah.
So when you hit 1,000 subscribers, are you gonna?
I can't wait.
You gonna bring in the big bucks or what?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's talk about your sponsorships. You had sponsorships.
I have. Yeah. Look at my hat right now. I'm getting a phone call.
It's a special episode.
Oh well. Okay.
Okay, we're fine. Isn't
yeah, Boot Hill Distillery. Shout out to Boot Hill Distillery. Thank you guys so much for sending me the merch. They sent me like a couple cups, some koozies, a hat, some stickers.
Is there some future sponsorships there as well?
I think so, yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah. And as time goes on, I'm just going to keep asking more and more people because I figured out the way you actually get sponsorships is just fucking ask.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you want to do this? Because I asked New Way Burgers.
Yeah.
You remember that? I had a girl coming on and she was like, I just want to drink root beer. So I was like, okay, well, we'll get some New Way root beer.
Yeah.
And I asked New Way, I'm like, hey, will you guys sponsor this episode? And they're like, sure.
Yeah.
Gave me a bunch of coupons and shit.
Yeah.
Free root beer.
Let's talk about your scheduling a little bit.
Let's do that.
How long does it take? Like a week do you spend on making sure this podcast happens on Tuesday?
Well, there's times where
there's times where it doesn't happen.
There's times where it doesn't happen, first of all. I missed a couple weeks, I think, so far.
Yeah,
but
bad. Honestly, it's been pretty
There's
good.
times where it's like last minute, where like I'll be Monday night editing, getting something together for the next day.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where I have like 4 episodes lined up ready to go.
Yeah.
So it feels really good when you have like 3 or 4 lined up and people are just scheduling left and right. But then there's other weeks where I'm like, shit, I need to find somebody now. And that's kind of how my dad came on. I didn't have anybody for
this one.
Yeah. I didn't have anybody, so I called my dad and I'm like, hey, you need to come on a podcast tonight. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, tonight you're coming on a podcast.
Listen,
you don't have any
bitch.
choice.
I had work. And
the whole time he's just bitching. He's like, you better figure this out because I'm not going to be a Phil anymore after this. I'm not going to be a backfill. So
Is it kind of rough trying to find me? We're in Kansas.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people, especially I've learned that and you've learned it. Not a lot of people are too fond of the camera and the internet, being on the internet in general. How have you struggled with that?
There's some people, dude, that have a really rough time.
Yeah.
When they come on, they can't really talk. They're kind of like, or, they'll be talking to me just fine before the podcast.
Yeah.
Then we'll sit down, hit record, and they'll be like, my name's Jesse. And I'll be like, okay, what do you do, Jesse?
No, what's your last name?
I'm a podcaster.
People, I get it. They feel like they're kind of in the spotlight, and they feel like, oh, my friends and family are going to see this, so they're super nervous. It's like public speaking, kind of.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it is, but...
I get it. I mean, I got to put myself in their position.
Yeah.
Because to me, this is just normal.
You've had no interest in doing this in your whole entire life.
Right.
I'm a nurse. I don't fucking want to talk
You don't want
to
to talk to somebody on a
camera.
podcast and drink beer.
No.
Even though this is what I like doing,
Yeah.
I got to think about, they're coming to some random ass building, random ass studio. And that's why I told you before, like, I could never put this studio in my house.
No.
Having guests show up randomly, I mean, if you imagine if you pull up to somebody's house and they're like, hey, yeah, just come in, we'll shoot an episode.
Yeah, you're getting murdered. You're going to get fucking murdered. Especially if you're like a woman. And, and this creepy dude with a beard, and he's tan, and he's like, yeah, you should come over and we could shoot a pod together. And then he gives you a home address?
Yeah.
What?
Kind of sketch.
It's kind of sketchy. So, yeah, it's really good that you have the office.
That's why it took me so long to get this thing going, though, because I needed to find a place for it. I was like, where the hell am I going to do this thing?
Yeah.
Luckily, I found this place, but, my sign over here says established in 2019.
Didn't upload until 2021. So it goes to show how much anxiety. Like, you weren't used to it either.
No.
I remember listening to, there's, believe it or not, unreleased episodes where Jesse will never release those podcasts because of how he feels he did in them as the interviewer.
Yeah, there were some bad ones. I recorded probably 10 before I even posted anything.
Yeah.
Like 10 that will never get uploaded. Because I had another little studio before this, and I just couldn't, I was trying to figure shit out, man. I was trying to figure out the microphone setup, the audio setup.
That's a lot to just jump into. With all the equipment that's even here, if you guys saw it, you'd be shocked. But I got it. I'm looking at a TV, a timer, laptop, camera switcher, audio shit. Dude, you can't just jump into a world like that and it goes smoothly.
No. And at the time, like going back to 2019, that's what I thought it was going to be. I was like, 3 webcams, a laptop, a couple mics, and I'm good to go.
I remember we had this issue when you first started. where his voice in the video, the more time the video went on, the more out of sync they were.
Yeah.
And we took I tried to take like 4 hours to figure out what the issue was, and we realized that we just needed new cameras.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't even that. It's because that will happen with any cameras if you go over an hour and you have a separate audio mixer.
Yeah.
What changed it all was that video switcher that Dalton's sitting on over there.
Yeah.
Because that thing mashes all of the audio and video together into one file.
Yeah.
And without that thing, I would be screwed. I'd be editing my ass off all the time.
And the point is, it's like, it's so many little things like that happen.
Yeah.
That really just fuck up your whole entire momentum.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever shot a podcast and didn't press record?
We shot a podcast with your uncle, actually.
Yeah.
His uncle, by the way, is Knox Bond, the rapper. Shout out to Knox Bond. He did a great freestyle for us and everything.
Couple freestyles.
Couple freestyles.
Yeah.
But I forgot to hit record on the audio.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
So we did like 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh shit, the mic's on.
Chris rapped, and he would just like... It looked ridiculous.
Like, shit, the mics aren't on. So there's, oh man, such frustrating times like that.
Yeah.
I just had my buddy, a software engineer, on episode 46, and that was his third time filming a podcast with me.
Yeah.
And that was the first one that we have that's usable, because the other two...
And you got to tell him shit like, hey, act like this is your first time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know it's unnatural. And I got to ask your name again.
Yeah.
Just do it for me.
Hey, who are you? My name is Jesse. I'm a podcast host. You're the Homie Seth.
No, so the struggles of podcasting, you already said your worst platform is YouTube when it comes to numbers.
I don't really know, because like when I look at my download stats, it's all in one. It's called downloads, and it's through the company called Buzzsprout.
Yeah.
So that's the company that shoots it out to Spotify, Apple, Google, all of that stuff, Amazon. And so some of these platforms don't really show you much. Like Spotify doesn't really give me any analytics on downloads and streams. Apple, yeah, it's weird. So when I look at my Buzzsprout account that's shooting it out to all these things, it'll show me like raw downloads, and I think that's people hitting download. And according to those numbers, I'm doing better on YouTube.
Really?
But when I log into like Apple Podcasts, I can see streaming numbers, and that's way better than YouTube. So it's hard to decipher all those different things and all those different platforms, but YouTube to me is the funnest.
Yeah, it is. Because dude, YouTube does such a great job of breaking down every aspect of your video and saying where you suck at, where you're good at, where people stop watching or listening, in your case most of the time probably.
Yeah.
But you just got some news a couple weeks ago, I remember you said it in the office, of your top what in what country? I remember you said in Canada?
No, well, outside of the United States.
Yeah.
Like my top listening.
Yeah.
From a different, I think it was France.
The French love you.
It was either France or Germany, one of those two. But I have high numbers in like two random ass countries outside of the U.S. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Hey, you'll take it though, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah. Well, that makes me happy that people outside of the U.S. are watching this, because in my mind, I'm like, who the hell that's not American is going to watch somebody drinking Bud Light at a bar?
Talking about careers in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much...
Maybe it's just like a curiosity type thing where they're like, I wonder what it's like working in the U.S. or this, you know? I wonder what it's like not getting 12 weeks of vacation.
It fucking sucks. No, but let's talk about your highest of highs right now.
Yeah.
Your UPS driver.
UPS driver.
Dude, one of your... Was it your second?
Yeah, that was my second episode ever. Dude.
Fucking blew up a little bit.
Blew up, yeah. I think it's at like 13K right now.
Let's talk about the haters on that. The poor UPS guy can't get a fucking break.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about that before, but I mean, if you go look at the UPS video, episode 2 on YouTube, it has like 300 comments now.
Yeah.
And some people are just mad talking shit.
So angry at a podcast.
Like, why would you interview a guy that's only been there for a year and a half? Are you stupid or what? I'm like, he's my buddy. He offered to come on. Like, sorry.
By the way, the voice he just did, he basically says that. It gives you guys, the audience, that tone. Kind of every time he sees a comment, he kind of does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when Jesse's not shooting porn, he's usually mocking you.
Yeah, so anytime you comment on my video, great podcast. In my mind, it's going, great podcast, Jesse.
Yeah, he calls you guys fucking nerds.
Yeah, nerd.
Nerd virgin.
Why are you commenting on my shit? No, I'm just kidding. Comment on everything if you're listening.
So you also went on the news.
Yeah, Good Day Kansas.
Yeah.
Jillian Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
talk
some
about it.
good shit, man.
That's all from Kansas. And I think a lot of old people watch that.
Probably, yeah.
And you
old
gain,
people
like-
that don't know what a podcast is.
So the news is on, I would say, in most offices here in Kansas, just during the day. And when was it, like 9, 10 a.m.?
I think it was.
Was it noon?
I think it was 12:30.
Okay, so it was noon. Safe to say a lot of people were just probably watching it. To give you an idea how old the audience was, right? He said his channel name, right? He made it a real good point to buy. Hey, check out my podcast.
Hey, yeah, look at it.
There's about 4 people who weren't over the age of 90 that wouldn't check it out.
Yeah, I think and I was expecting at least maybe 10 subscribers on YouTube from that one.
Yeah. Got 4 subs.
But I also advise to anybody out there that's doing a podcast or anything like this, YouTube or whatever, keep your expectations very, very low, because it's a good feeling when you get that pleasant surprise, like, holy shit, I just gained 10 subs last week.
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling when you're like, I'm for sure going to get 20 subs off of this.
Oh, dude, if you set those expectations for yourself, you're bound to fail.
Yeah, don't do it.
I hate it. Even though there are like highs, right? Like that's why we do this game, right? There's highs about it, and it feels good when you hit a mark. But then the week later, when you upload a video and it does below average, does it sting even more?
Yeah,
it does.
You contemplate. Which, let's talk about that for a minute. How many times have I told you, fuck it, dude, I'm done?
Oh, dude. Once a week? No, not every week. But there are times where me and him both have been like, I don't know if this shit's working.
Yeah.
It sucks. But the only thing that keeps us hanging on, right, is those highs that we're just fucking always chasing
for sure.
after. But then again, Jesse, when he first started this, was like, I'd be happy with 100 subscribers, and some people listen to my shit. He has more traction than that, and it's hard to be content in this little game that we play.
It's almost like, those rich-ass dudes that become billionaires and they just keep on chasing more and more and more.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it is, gaining subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
And listens on podcasts.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. Like, as bad as we are off now, right? So me and you were both in the hundreds of views range. We could pop off tomorrow and start getting 50,000 views each video. The video that gets 20,000 views is going to hit us the hardest.
Yeah.
And that'd be insane for us right now. But after that, 20,000 views, if we get 50,000 views each video, we're going to be like, fuck it, I'm done.
No, I'm done. This is bullshit. What am I still doing this for?
I guarantee you, if we told you back when you were getting 30, 40 views a podcast, that you'd be getting 100 to 300 a podcast, you'd be stoked back then.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I remember thinking to myself before I posted my first episode, like, if I just get 5 listeners, I'll be happy
awesome.
as hell. Like, if 5 people want to sit down and listen to my podcast,
Right.
that's completely enough for me to keep doing this.
That's
now,
insane. It's just like,
I think right now I have 445 subscribers on YouTube.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I average around 300 downloads a week, I'm pretty sure.
That's really good.
And I'm
for
like,
a podcast.
Yeah, and I'm still at moments like, man, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I want to quit this shit.
And it should really tell you that you have something actually going for you, because podcasting is such a saturated market.
Oh, dude, it's horrible right now.
Because you don't need the cameras to podcast.
No.
Right?
No.
You really just need a mic and
Yeah.
yourself. You don't even need a guest. You know how many people from their house just decide, I'm bored, let's shoot an hour-long podcast talking about, I don't know, bullshit. I don't know what they talk about, honestly.
Just random shit.
Without a guest. There's so many people that do that. So the fact that you've even gotten to where you are now and still growing is actually insane.
It actually makes me very happy and proud when I look at it like that. But most of the time, I'm not looking at it.
You
like
look
that.
at you touch. You look at these fucking videos that are. You look at Joe Rogan shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, dude, what the fuck am I doing?
I was actually listening to Rogan like a couple weeks ago, and he said that I think there's 4 million podcasts out there right now, and it just keeps growing and growing by the day. So it's
next year it'll be 5 million. You know what I mean?
Saturated ass market.
Yeah, and I think COVID was a lot of that.
Oh
if
yeah.
you think about
Yeah.
it. I mean, people are sitting at their house, and they've always had this sneaking interest in creation, but they don't know what else to do besides podcast.
Yeah.
So that's what happens, and that goes for anything content creation wise. Really, it's not just podcasting. It's in our day and generation, everybody wants to be on the internet.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what the subject is or what you're doing, but everybody wants to be
Everybody wants to be a content creator.
Right. I would say 99% of people aren't good at it. That's
I
fair.
would say, yeah.
Is that 1% that is. And me and Jesse are literally just hoping that we're that 1%. You don't know until you know, right?
You don't.
You got to set yourself apart somehow. That's why I feel like coming up with the concept of a podcast, that's not just a podcast, can do a lot for you.
Oh, for sure, yeah. One of the most important things that I attribute gaining 450 subscribers in my first year is...
Great first year, by the way. What's up?
We got another guest walking in here right now.
Oh, look at that.
One of the most important things, I think, is just coming up with a unique idea.
Yeah.
And putting that out there and just not trying to copy something exactly.
Yeah.
And that, and I'm not here to do this by myself. There's a lot of people out there, like you said, that'll sit in a closet with a microphone and just record their own shit.
That's right. Yep.
Which props to them. But
let's talk about your first year, though. You're onto something there. Have you already hit your 1 year mark?
Here in a few days. July 21st.
I mean, from start to finish, you started a podcast from scratch.
Yeah.
450 subscribers later, you did not think you would get that far when you first started.
No, definitely not.
It's actually guys, it's a fucking insane year. You watching right now, and I know it sounds fucked up and kind of rude, you upload a video to YouTube right now, you might get a view. That's fair, right?
It's true, yeah.
It's true. It's so hard to catch somebody's eye.
That's the unfortunate reality of it, is that unless you have something unique, and I'm not saying my idea is unique or great by any means, but I had a lot of support from the beginning too. And
exactly,
and
something
YouTube,
to get you started.
Like, the most important thing is a lot of people will just upload a few videos and they'll be like, oh shit, I have 5 views.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they stop there. And
they do.
At first, I had maybe 10 to 15 a day, I think, on my first few episodes.
Yep.
The most important thing is to just keep uploading every single week,
YouTube
or whatever your time frame is.
Needs to see that you're in it for the long run. If you're not in it for the long run, there's so many other creators out there that YouTube would rather push.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they know that they're in this shit, which is what's happening. And I think me and you are in the middle of it, where we're growing consistently, because we've been uploading content for almost a year, you a year.
Yeah, a year.
So we've been doing this, and YouTube's finally starting to recognize it.
They recognize, and apps like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
They recognize it too, and they don't really share shit. And from a lot of people that I've heard that do podcasts, they say that it takes like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
For them to even start sharing your shit.
Yeah.
Because they need to know that they can trust this dude to keep uploading. They don't
Yeah.
want to start sharing and promoting somebody's content that's like going to bitch out after a year.
Mm-hmm. And the hard truth is, with your thing, is you're not in the YouTube spectrum, right? You're in the podcast spectrum.
Right. Yeah.
And when you compare your numbers to another podcast that's been doing it for a year, you're doing way better.
I'm doing better than I expected. Yeah.
But you're doing better than, I would say, 99% of people who started a podcast last year.
Last year, yeah.
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 I mean, you look at your competitors, I mean, you've got to be like top 5%.
I mean, a lot of my competitors that, well, I wouldn't even consider them competitors, but just other podcasts that are local and things that I've been following for a little while, they've been going at it for like 2 or 3 years maybe, and they have slightly better numbers than me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, that's just the time factor. I mean, because you've seen my growth and you've seen your own growth on YouTube, and it's not just YouTube, but if you keep posting shit, you will keep gaining subscribers.
If it's good.
It's good.
I would preface if it's decent.
If it's decent, yeah.
Because I'm on the YouTube Reddit, and there's so much frustration there. Because people post a video and be like, why am I getting fucking views? You click on the video, it's a webcam fucking choppy ass gaming video.
Yeah.
That they recorded in 7 seconds.
Right.
And you're like, well, that's why. YouTube's not going to push that shit.
That's why, yep.
And no thumbnail. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. I mean, you're a podcaster, but YouTube definitely causes you the most work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you do the thumbnails. Obviously, you guys saw his new thumbnails.
It would be zero work for me if I didn't do YouTube.
Because we'd do this and you'd fucking post it.
I got to chop up the video. Yep. I got to make a thumbnail.
Yep.
If I didn't do that, I would literally just have to record this audio file and upload it. And that's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I go the extra mile just for YouTube because it's fun, I guess. But
Yeah.
I always had it in my mind that I wanted to do a video podcast too. I wanted people to see me shotgunning a beer.
Yeah.
I wanted people to see the guest.
Yep.
A lot of times you listen to a podcast, I do anyways, and I think I would love to see what this person looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm shocked when I figure out who it is or whatever, but...
Who's your biggest podcaster you look up to? Do you look up to any podcast in particular?
Well, it's cliche, but Joe Rogan is probably the biggest influence, honestly. He's probably just the format that he's laid out, and he's one of the OGs,
Definitely.
He's one of the guys that really started early.
He really
and
did.
Brought this idea to light that you can just have a conversation with somebody.
And people will hopefully listen.
Yeah, but
and that's what he did.
Honestly, my biggest inspiration right now probably is Nelk Boys. They're killing it out there.
Dude, you're not playing, dude. They are doing crazy
Full
shit.
Send podcast.
It's hard to even call it a podcast. The level of quality that comes with blows Joe Rogan away.
Dude, they're fucking killing it now.
They're insane. They bring like a filmography background to it.
Yeah.
And it's just obviously they have a whole team.
They have
working
to at
on
this
their
point,
podcast,
yeah.
And there is no podcast that doesn't hit. They had Donald fucking Trump.
They had Donald Trump on a podcast.
They had Uncle Donnie
Uncle Donnie.
on a podcast. Dude,
Every episode they release on
never
YouTube, and this is a podcast, okay?
Yes.
Is over 2 million, at least.
we're talking an hour load of content that 2 million people are interested in.
I mean, that is bananas. For people listening that don't understand that,
Dude.
YouTube is not a podcast-friendly platform.
No,
It's like
most anti-podcast.
Most people would say in podcasting not to even bother with YouTube because
Right.
it's not going to help you grow at all. It's just a totally different thing. They promote different content.
Mm-hmm.
Nelk Boys, Full Send podcast.
Yes.
They're fucking killing it. They're the
Granted,
best.
they had a lot of money backing them, obviously,
Oh,
and in the past, they were already fucking famous, right? So they had that backing them. But to jump in the podcast game, oh man, that was the best move they've ever fucking made.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So good.
I mean, and for people like me, you just can't compete with somebody that's interviewing Donald Trump or Dana White.
Or fucking Donald Trump one week and then Rick Ross the next.
Yeah.
What?
And they just interviewed Liver King, I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, just people that are the biggest of the biggest right now. Full Send podcast, they're sitting down with them.
Yeah.
So you'll never compete with people like that, but just having a separate idea, because my guests are all just workers. They're just people that work jobs.
And you just want to hear about it.
And hopefully, if you're listening, you just want to hear about what it's like doing that thing every day.
Have you ever thought about changing the concept?
Yeah, sure. Or at least branching out and doing another one.
Right. Like another podcast on top of Careers Over Beers?
Yeah.
Like what? Just kicking it with the boys?
I don't know. See, the thing is, like, the oversaturation, like you were talking about in the podcast world.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of something. Because how many podcasts are out there where you're just kicking it with the boys drinking beer?
Yeah, every
There's
week.
a shit ton.
Exactly. TMG, but they're the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you were to start a new podcast, you'd be disappointed by the numbers.
For sure.
Immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
When it gets 3 views, you're like, fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
All this extra work.
Yeah.
For what? But I do think it would be cool to watch your podcast or like every now and then get like a bonus episode where it is just you and your friends just fucking bullshitting for 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be 20 minutes, and that's you could post it to Careers Over Beers because it's the hardest concept to grasp in the game that we play is this is Jesse's channel. Jesse can do whatever he wants. No one hired Jesse to run Careers Over Beers.
Yeah.
He made it up.
I made it up. That's a new thing.
It's a new thing. If Jesse ever wanted to branch out every now and then, he can do that. It's creepy. We're talking about it like this, like we made up our channels completely, but somehow we feel obligated.
You do, yeah. You feel like you have a boss and you have a deadline and you needed to get it done by Tuesday.
It's just you.
It's just me. I forget sometimes I can literally just say, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
Which is why, season 3's coming soon.
Yeah, exactly.
When is season 3 coming?
I'm thinking like a few weeks. I want to do, like, this is going to be the first bonus episode where I'm going to drop Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do like 2 more bonus episodes. One's going to be a repeat customer.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I was going to have you maybe help me film a little behind the scenes type deal
we'll do
for
like
people
a whole,
to see.
Not a podcast, but a video.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which we're going to.
And maybe my buddy Luke Weber might be involved in that a little bit.
Yep.
Jump in.
Your brother, is that the videographer?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
dope.
cinematographer.
I need to meet him.
And he's got some dope ass equipment, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be cool. So I was thinking that, and then I'd probably do like a recap video of
Badass.
season 2.
That is. Well, it's so funny. It's been 2 seasons. We're talking how many episodes?
48
We're talking about 48 hours
uploaded
of content.
videos.
48 hours of content is on average.
Yeah.
Some are longer, some are shorter, and on average an hour long is on your channel. You have done 48 hours at least worth of work. That's not counting thumbnails. That's not counting upload time. Fucking the small ass town.
Videos.
And fucked up videos you made. You've probably put in 1 year for your hobby. That's what this is, unfortunately. You've probably put in like 100 hours of work.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's so much work.
Not to mention the 2 years that I spent getting this thing up and going.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, when you get on YouTube or when you get on Spotify and you click on a new podcast and you're like, what the fuck, dude? This sounds like they're standing in their kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
wanted to make sure that wasn't a thing.
I wanted to make sure that's not a thing. I wanted to make sure I have the mics. Like, the audio is the most important thing.
Obviously.
Anybody out there that wants to make a podcast or do a podcast, or if you're just a listener of a podcast, you're going to know that you have to have good audio.
Mm-hmm.
It has to sound clean. You can't have background noise. You can't have, bullshit echoes. And so that was my number one goal, was getting that down. So once I got that down, then I'm like, okay, I got to add in the video.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what took me a fucking long time to get down.
Yeah, it's not easy.
So, yeah, I literally probably spent 1.5 years just getting things right.
Right.
So I could walk in here and just hit record and go.
Right.
Because that's how it is now. Like, we walk in here, we maybe drink a beer, and we just hit record and go.
Yeah.
The amount of work it took to get to that level, because I didn't want to have to come in here and fuck with shit and get things ready and make sure this is set up here that syncs with this. I didn't want to have to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to walk in, hit record, walk out, drunk.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes even before that.
Sometimes even before that, yeah.
All right, so one of my last questions here. Your whole concept of careers over beers, we know how you came up with the concept, but what's the goal of each video? So let's say you do a plumber. Is your goal to try to convince people to be a plumber? Or hopefully that future plumbers will look it up and make that decision based off of this interview?
Yeah, well, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to convince anybody to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
I want to convince people to have a good conversation with somebody random and just listen to their story, because that's lacking a lot in this world, I feel like. People don't sit down face to face and talk anymore. A lot of times it's over the internet, or you're reading about what a plumber does for a living. I wanted that nitty gritty, like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ask you about putting your hand in some shit.
Right. Like, dude, I had a turd.
You had a turd in your hand.
I hate this fucking
That's part of the job. Yeah. How many people have you heard in your life who started a job and they're like, I had no idea I was going to be doing this shit, Right. I mean, it happens all the time.
It does. Literally to everybody. Like, I don't know how I got into what I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Are you worried about running out of careers one day? I mean, technically speaking, there's only so many careers, especially in Kansas.
Yeah.
What are we going to do when you're out of people?
I honestly don't know what's going to happen. Because I remember when I finished season 1, that was 24 episodes.
That's 24 careers.
I remember thinking to myself, like, how the hell am I going to find 24 more for season 2?
Right.
And it just did. I don't know how it did. I don't know what happened there to maybe the universe lined it up for me, but
dude, I know.
It just happened.
And you've had crazy fucking guests on here.
Yeah.
You've had, well, never mind, you haven't had that. It's not posted. But you had a dude who makes fucking knives.
Yeah, that's one of my buddies, Stephen Brady.
The only thing I can think of now is fast food worker.
I need to get those.
You've had a chef.
I need to get those. I've had a personal chef.
You've had a personal chef on here.
Yeah.
You've had such a wide range of careers. I can't.
Butterfly farmer? I mean, how insane is that?
Like, what the fuck?
Did you even know that was a thing?
No. Dude, you had insurance come over here. Talk about fucking policies.
Yeah, insurance agent.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you feel like, are you worried about there possibly being just something you can't avoid, a deadline to this whole podcast concept?
There's definitely a point where it's going to end.
Right.
I mean, there's only so many things people do, but there's a lot more than you would think. Like when you think about the job categories of things that you do, think about the branches of that and the branches of that. Like one time when I first came up with this concept, before anything started happening here, I was on a plane back from Beale Air Force Base up in California.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3-hour plane ride, and I wrote down 1,000 jobs, just sitting there thinking like this.
Literally
this.
1,000?
Yeah, 1,000.
Holy
wrote them out.
fuck.
And that was just, random. I mean, it could be anything from high school teacher versus kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Or,
get really, really specific.
Really specific,
because each job is different depending on what you, like in our career, computers, we don't do everything a server manager does.
No.
It's completely different.
Just think of IT as a career, right? You could call it IT, but you have systems administrator.
Right.
You
That'd
have
be limiting yourself.
Network infrastructure. I mean,
there's
so many different things.
Coding. There's too much to even account. Like, technically speaking, if you were to look at it in a broad range like that, you could take, okay, let's do IT. What's in IT?
Yeah.
6-7 episodes right there. Easy. If you don't go too far into it, probably 15 or 20.
Yeah.
To be realistic.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much in that realm.
Right.
But you're right. I guess in that aspect, you probably, technically speaking, got 6-7 years left until you're really out.
If I could write out 1,000, and some of them were very similar, I'll admit that that there were some of them that kind of overlap each other. But
3rd grade teacher, 4th grade teacher, 5th grade teacher,
6th grade teacher, 7th grade teacher, 8th grade teacher. I could technically get what 20 years of content if I did
off of
50.
1,000. Yeah, and by then, most of the time, no offense to you guys, no one's gonna fucking realize that you did kind of a repeat. No. There's earlier fans that maybe be like, oh, okay, well, newer people haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode you've done so far? That's unique.
That's unique?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite probably of all time is my dad. Mm-hmm. Just because I never thought he would actually do that or come on a podcast or share his story. Mm-hmm. And I like his origin story about how he was a screw-off in high school and, went on to something and was very successful with it as an accountant.
Yeah.
Which is, that's important. Like, one of my goals that I like for people to get out of this is to hear a story and understand that you can mess up and you can be late in life before you figure it out.
Yes. Yeah.
Too many people are 18 and they're just killing themselves over the fact that they don't know what they're going to do and they feel worthless. Like, some people don't get it until they're 25, 30.
Young you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Most people, I would say, don't start a serious career until they're 30.
Yeah. And that's fine. If you don't have anything figured out at 25, like, you don't have to feel like shit.
Yeah.
You can listen to this guy talk about how he made it when he was 35.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a cool thing that I like people to hear, and it's important for people to hear, I think.
Yeah. Do you feel like your podcast is a personal podcast besides talking about the job? Do you ever want to dig even deeper into their personal life and their personal story versus their career? Like, no, like, what made you make the decision to do what you do?
Oh, yeah.
Not just your day-to-day life working.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I try to do that quite a bit, especially if I think that it's going to be interesting.
Yep.
If you're, if you dress up as a fairy for an event, which I had a lady on that does that.
Yep. You wouldn't know how you got there.
How did you ever think that was going to be a career for you,
Right. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about content, right? Quote, I hate that word, but it is what it is humans. Humans are the best. You want to get to the nitty fucking gritty of who they are. And the career's a part of that.
Yeah.
But if you could get to the nitty gritty of who they actually are and why they are the way they are, even if it includes, excuse me, I got raped by my fucking father when I was 6 years old. Dude, you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Of course, not everyone's going to be open to talking about that.
No, but that's something that listeners want to hear. I mean,
exactly.
if you know that's coming up, you're like, holy shit, I got to hear this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to hear this person's story.
It definitely and everyone has, it sounds fucked up, but a story like that.
Yeah, they
not
do.
Not exactly like that, I hope. But they have a great story behind of their personality.
For sure, yeah.
And that's where it really benefits you to have guests on that's different each time.
They all have a different origin story and a different pathway to how they got that successful.
Yeah.
If they are that successful,
yeah.
And for a kid to hear that and understand that, because a lot of times when you're in school and you're a kid, you just think that the world needs you to decide what you're going to do the rest of your life right now and figure it out.
That's how
you're
fucked.
Feel.
That's how it makes you feel.
They do. They make you feel like you're fucked if you're not.
Yeah.
That's how I was when I was 18. If I would have been able to hear more stories like that. And one of the ways that I came up with this idea was I was at a bar with a guy who was like in his 60s, 70s maybe. Mm-hmm. Big ass handlebar mustache, biker dude. He joined the Hells Angels when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. And he ended up a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
And the whole story, just connects to each other. And
God, it'd be crazy if you found him one day.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool?
Dude,
Get him back
you
on
had
here.
him on. You're like, bro, this is because of you. You fucker.
Well, I wanted to do a podcast a long time before that, too.
Oh, did you?
With some buddies. Yeah, we always talked about it. I was like, let's do a podcast. Let's do a podcast. And they were always like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck yeah.
But why?
Well, exactly. It was just a bullshit, I guess. But they would never. No one ever committed to it. You know, they're all like,
yeah, it's one of those
let's
things.
do it.
I should make an album. I should fucking make an album, right, guys?
We should make an album, by the way.
We should make a fucking album.
I'm pretty dirty on a beat.
No, we're not doing that today.
Yeah.
He's got Knox Spawn influence right now, dude.
But no, you know, I had buddies that would be like, let's do a podcast. You know, we already talk shit, you know.
Dude, people love listening.
We all got it,
yeah.
You know. But then when you start saying, okay, well, I'm going to order all these microphones. You guys down to pitch in? They're like,
oh, no, it's now's not a great time for me. No, I feel you, dude. That's the difference between me and you. I don't know how you do it, right? Because everything that I do, right, is my decision and my decision pretty much alone. I now have help, but before that, it was like just me. I want to make videos. I can't imagine going off of somebody else's time to do what you want to do, like a guest. You have to make sure, you have to plan this shit out weeks ahead in order for you to have something to post. No such thing as you being like, I want to do a podcast, I'm going to go do one.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You have to make sure that shit is scheduled out.
Yeah.
That would suck.
It sucks.
As a content creator perspective. Of course, that's what makes or breaks you. But as a content creator perspective, just because you want to do it doesn't mean it's getting done.
Exactly. Relying on a guest is a terrible part of having a guest podcast.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's bitten you in the ass before.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had a guest like, oh, fuck, I can't do it, last minute?
Yeah, that's happened a couple times.
What the fuck, right? Well, that's my only plan. That's all I had.
Exactly. That's what I've been waiting for. Like, one of my recent ones, actually, she said that she couldn't make it, and I was up here waiting for her. And I was like, well, I can do it anytime, you know? And she's like, do you mind doing it like an hour or two later? And I was like, nah, that's fine. So I just hung out here and drank.
Yeah.
Waited for her to come out.
Right. Just for you to have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's a dedication right there. But I'm saying, have you ever had anyone completely just fucking fuck you up and cancel on you?
I've had that happen twice.
What do you do?
Luckily, those times I had other episodes in the bag.
Right, and just ask them to do it a little earlier.
Yeah.
Like, can you do it now?
That's the worst when you have to tell somebody, like, hey, I need this tonight. Is that cool?
I know I'm not paying you or nothing. Do you ever struggle with that concept? We don't pay the people in our videos.
No.
We just ask them for basically a
favor.
favor.
You give your time to be on here, which I appreciate more than anything.
Right. And I'll bring up a story that happened to me recently. Jesse, you weren't here for this. But I posted a TikTok of one of my people on one of my videos. And
shit.
Blew up.
Yeah.
Were you there?
You were. Yeah, I was. How many views did you get to?
155,000.
God
And
dang.
it was going up like 1,000 every time you look up. I don't pay my people to be in my videos, right? They do it out of the sweetness of their heart.
Yeah.
So I got to 155,000 views. Kind of almost the break that I've been looking for, right? Something to give you hope. One of those highs we were talking about earlier. And he messages me. He found me. He was on a fucking mission. This dude only knew that my name was the Homie Seth, right? He didn't know nothing else.
And he found your phone number?
He found my Facebook.
Oh, okay.
He found Seth and then my last name.
Fuck.
Yeah. So he messages me, and he asked me to take the TikTok down because he was getting recognized, and he was super embarrassed about it. So after a year of grinding on YouTube, I get 155,000 views, and I had to take it down because I couldn't allow myself for this fucking poor rando who's drunk at the time.
I know, yeah. It's
to
you
be
have
embarrassed.
to. And the thing is, you could be a total asshole.
You could
and leave it on.
It's your right to.
It's your right to. He offered to do the interview. You know.
He looked right into the camera. He knew there was a camera.
Yeah.
But you would feel like the biggest asshole in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like if someone asked you to take down episode 28 right now, you would do it.
I would probably do it.
Because
yeah.
they didn't get. Yeah. We don't pay him a dime.
There's episodes, dude, because usually I let my guest vet the whole thing before I post it.
Right.
I'll send them the entire file on my Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
They can watch the entire thing and let me know what they think of it. There's been times where it's been Monday night, 10 p.m.
And you're about to upload.
And I get an email. It's already uploaded. It's ready to it's scheduled on YouTube to drop, right?
Yep.
And I'll get an email saying, hey, actually, could you cut that part out where I said this?
You have to re-edit the whole thing.
Son of a bitch.
Dude.
I got to pull it up on my computer.
I would, dude. You've seen it. I have typos in some of my videos.
Yeah.
I will not take that down.
Yeah.
And I will not re-edit.
No, because you already built your views.
Yeah, dude, what is wrong with you?
Fuck
No,
it.
even if it's queued up, bro. If I process that video on my computer, that's it. I'm done. That is it. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right. But the difference is, like, if somebody's saying, I don't want me to say that, and I refuse to do it, I'm like, fuck you, I'm putting it up. I can build a bad reputation from it. They'll post something on Reddit, they'll be like, do not do a podcast with this guy. He doesn't give a fuck what you say. He'll post your shit.
Exactly. It ruins your reputation.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But, like, that goes back to, once again, relying on somebody else and just hoping that they're cool about it. Hey, bro, you chill, right? That's
a risk, and that's sketchy.
It is.
And I will take down whatever they want me to if that came to that. Like the UPS guy.
Exactly. Got a lot of flack on the internet, that poor guy.
A lot of views. If I had to take that video down, that would hurt. If it was that or
it's
him lose his job.
Views. Exactly. You would have to do
I don't know.
Dude, that thing still gets views. Right now, it's probably gotten views since we started this podcast.
Yeah, it still gets probably around 100 every 2 days.
It's
every
fucking
48
insane.
Hours. Yeah.
He could be like, hey, dude, a lot of this company's giving me fucking shit for it.
Yeah.
It would break your heart.
Oh, it'd be
But you would have to be like, delete forever.
Be
I want you to know that YouTube, when you delete a video, it literally says, delete forever.
I would try to negotiate a little bit. I would be like, dude, can we blur out your face or the logo or something?
Right. Yeah.
Can we do something?
Yeah. I didn't have those tools with me when my guy was doing it, because TikTok's TikTok. You can't edit a video after
once
it's
there,
on
it's
TikTok.
there.
155,000 views. Whew. Out the fucking window, dude. Out of the fucking window because he wanted me to take it down. I mean, fucked up.
Hopefully you probably still gained some subs from that.
No. I will tell you this right now. I will use this as a dude, fuck TikTok, bro.
Yeah, TikTok sucks.
It does. It's your free little fucking stupid goldfish brain, and you just want to get that little dopamine, and you keep fucking scrolling. It's fine. It's not what I worry about 24/7. Don't worry about me.
Well, and the other thing is you can't make money off of it, really.
No, fuck them, dude. They don't care about creators, and they're probably spying on us. So
yeah, they don't care about shit.
Fuck TikTok.
Fuck you, TikTok.
Fuck
little
you,
bitches.
TikTok. Do you ever post TikTok?
Yeah.
How often do you post?
I have a TikTok.
How often do you post?
I haven't posted in a long time, but I used to take clips from my podcast and upload it, and then I just got lazy.
You post to Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook are the big ones, yeah.
Do you do Instagram pretty consistently?
Every week, yeah.
You post like
every
clips
week
or something?
I post clips, but mainly it's just my thumbnail, and I say it's out today. Go listen if you can.
I gotcha. Have you had any luck on any other platform, like Instagram, for example?
Twitter has, I thought maybe I'm just not interactive enough on Twitter. Like I should be more interactive with my users. I should be doing that on Facebook and Instagram too.
Yeah, dude, you would think two guys that worry about this shit constantly would just be promoting too much. Bro, it's hard to. It's the hardest part about.
Dude, that's the worst part about doing this thing. Is I have to upload. Okay, so the whole video just getting uploaded is a work. It's a big piece of my workload.
You don't want to do shit after.
I don't want to fucking get on Instagram and make up a good caption or get on Twitter.
Please watch my video.
God
I beg
damn,
you,
dude, it's horrible.
It feels shitty. We don't have to. Granted, we're gonna get views no matter what. At least we're there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If we want to do a little bit better though, and if you want to make it today, you absolutely have to post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook
is the
at.
worst because Instagram, at least I know, if you're following my podcast account, you're there. It is. You know what you're gonna see.
You can update.
On Facebook, my poor friends have to see me share my shit every week. Like, hey, got a new episode up.
Like that's not Jesse.
My shit.
That's not fucking Jesse. Hey guys, I love you boys.
I love you boys. Yeah. New episode out now.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're kind of faking your personality for this podcast game?
No.
No, you feel like you're being pretty genuine all the
time?
time?
I don't think. Yeah. That's the only way that this actually works.
Right.
I don't think that I'm faking myself at all. I mean, this is how I would be talking to you at the bar.
Yeah.
Do I seem different?
No. But there are creators.
I don't say certain things. I won't get into politics or anything like that.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, man. Got anything for me?
You're a better host than me.
No. I'm not meant for podcasting. I'm meant for getting drunk and asking people questions on the street, which is dropping soon. The Homie Seth. Go check that shit out.
Homie Seth on YouTube. Go listen to him interview a horse downtown last week.
Will there be a link in the description?
There will be, yeah.
There'll be a link in the description. I might even
get in my description on YouTube, or go to my Facebook or Instagram, and you will find where to find the Homie Seth, because he talks to people every week.
I do.
Well,
like I said,
depends on when.
Not very consistent.
Depends on which weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, like there are weeks for sure. There are.
Sometimes it's every week.
Sometimes it's twice in a row. Yeah, definitely.
But no, for real though, you did a series on homeless people called The Forgotten.
Yeah.
He interviews homeless people on the streets of Wichita.
So sketchy.
Just walks up to him like, "Hey, how'd you get here?
Yeah.
What'd you do?"
Dude, and homeless people are so open. They
don't care.
They got nothing to lose.
Yeah, they don't care.
Okay, bottom of my heart, I'm serious. Most genuine people you'll ever meet in your life as a homeless person. They've got nothing to lose. You ask them, someone's like, "Hey, how'd you get here?" And they'd be like, "I did a lot of crack and got fucked in prison." You're like, "Oh shit, that's what we're starting off with."
Yeah.
Right? That's the baseline.
Where does it go from here?
And I'll be like, "Can I post this?" Like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a shit.
What do I give a fuck?
What are they gonna do? Kick me off the streets?
I will say, little stingy. Okay, some of them, I'd be like, "You want to do an interview?" They're like, "Got $20 on you." I'm like, "Motherfucker, $20 for a 5-minute interview." Little stingy.
How about just a little free publicity?
Yeah.
And a chance to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I will say that we did have. It was our first guest. My cameraman is working the shit right now, but his name was Tom, and he was 25. Yeah, 25 years old and homeless.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He was your first episode, right?
He was.
One of the homeless guys.
And it did well. Well enough for him to get recognized, and he got money, and I gave him a phone and everything. Heartbreaking part, right? So when I interviewed him, he was clean, right? No drugs. He was on the right track. He just got out of jail, so obviously he didn't have access to drugs.
In the video, he seemed like he was getting his shit together.
Right, and everybody wanted to help this kid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't find anybody would say something mean about him. Based on the interview, you could tell he had a good heart. Next week, I go over there. I told him to meet me in the same place. I'm going to give him a phone and a couple of job opportunities that I got, right, through posting the video.
Yeah, because people were reaching out to you.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, "Hey, I'm going to send you $20 right now or whatever and give it to him next time you see him."
Right.
Weren't they?
And just, well, I spent that on items.
You spent it on shit for yourself.
You don't want to give a home... Right. And I smoked weed. But...
Yeah, I mean, you bought some shit for the office for that.
Yeah. No. I didn't do that. I did not fucking do that. No, I bought him a phone and, like, clothing and all that other items. Anyways, next week I go over there after he told everybody that he was going to be clean. High as fucking balls, right? Down bad. Heartbreaking. I guess homeless people, it sounds fucked up, are homeless for a reason. Not exactly the most trustworthy people.
Yeah.
But to see how many people cared about Tom, and then he just fucked off and got high in a week time frame, even though he's so dedicated the week before, that sucked. That's
horrible.
After that, it changed my view and what to expect from homeless people. But it was a great...
What was your view before
series.
that? That this was going to be a normal thing where you could just get money from people and help them out regularly? And
I knew that when I made the change to my channel, going from like, all about me, to about other people. That's essentially what my channel is.
Yeah.
I knew that homeless people would be a great place to start because I had a sneaking suspicion that they have good stories.
And everybody wants to hear it too. I mean,
yes,
dude, when you sit down, I showed my friends all of your videos the first time that happened, when you started dropping The Forgotten, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is insane,"
Yeah.
You see these people when you're driving around, but you never actually hear them talking.
You don't go up to them and be like, "Let's have an actual
conversation. What happened here?"
Yeah. You might give them a couple bucks, pack of smokes.
Do you ever feel kind of bad for being like, "Bro, what'd you do? What happened?"
Dude, it was tough. I was so nervous for my first interview, like Tom.
Yeah.
When I was just like, fuck it, whatever. All we can say is I'm not going to answer that question. Hey, what kind of drugs were you addicted to? Who the fuck asked that question?
It's not something you would normally say to somebody.
No, it's not. No one expects to hear those questions. Like,
yeah.
Hey, why are you so fucked up? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Explain to me and everybody who's going to, all 800 people are going to watch the video, where you fucked up. And they just do it.
But dude, that's good content.
It is.
Because people know in their minds they would never say that to somebody.
No.
So when they see you doing it,
it's crazy.
And that's kind of the same thing I'm doing here. You know, when I'm talking to a plumber or a firefighter, I'm like, bro, where do you take a shit at sometimes?
Yeah.
You would never really say that unless you were drunk at the bar with them.
Right. There's no reason to mention what we mention to people.
Yeah.
I will say, like I went back and before, after asking those questions, I felt way more comfortable. Asking people questions. Humans are more open than you think they are. They will answer. Most of them are open books. Really any question you ask, because at the end of the day, most humans are like, they never get the possibility of sharing their story.
Right.
So with what you do and what I do, I don't want to say gives them the opportunity, but it is an opportunity.
It's a moment where they can literally say something and you're listening. Mm-hmm. You're focused completely on what they're saying.
Yes. And
it's rare people catch, which is unfortunate, which breaks my heart that people don't get moments like that with the people where they can just say something
and just let it all out.
But it's a beautiful thing when they have a moment on screen, and you can tell probably when you're interviewing people for your YouTube channel, mm-hmm. they'll lighten up and they'll be like, holy shit, I'm talking into a camera. I'm talking to a mic right now.
Yes. And then after The Forgotten, I did a little series called Glamorous. It was 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Right. Glamorous was way different than the souls of homeless people. Okay. Glamorous was drag queens.
Drag queens.
So it's not a community that I'm used to, and I knew I was dipping my feet.
You've been out of it for a while.
I haven't been
you haven't been in the drag queen scene for a year, for maybe
2015.
Oh yeah, 2015 was the last drag show you did.
And now that I'm fully converted, I didn't want to go back. But asking them questions, dude, you don't realize you have to tread so lightly when you know nothing about the community. You don't want to throw out shit that could possibly be a slur you just didn't know.
Right.
You know how weird it feels asking someone how long they've been gay for?
It's fucked up.
And then they'd be like, my whole life. You're like, oh yeah, that's right.
There was one episode where you asked, where do you put your dick?
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, what do you do with your dick when you're up there dancing?
So I was hinting at that question when I was like, how do you fit in drag queen stuff? And they're like, oh, well. I'm like, okay, you can make me ask it. Where do you put the dick? I don't want to ask that. I did it.
You did it, bro. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
But one thing you've probably learned, that I've definitely learned from doing this, is that humans are a lot more alike than you think.
Yeah. And
most of them can take a joke and have a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And those questions that you fear, you're like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm nuts for asking this. Most of them are like, ha ha ha,
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that most people are like sense of humor exactly. Got to scale back a lot. You got to know your audience.
You got to know your audience for sure.
I have no problem with the trans community whatsoever. Could I crack a few jokes? Fuck yeah, I could. I wish people were cool about jokes the way we are.
You should be. If you're listening to this right now, you should be. As long as you're not intentionally trying to hurt somebody's feelings or harm them, you can joke about them a little bit.
Everybody. How many times a day do me and you get fucking roasted?
Every single day.
Every second of every day. It's never ending. And as long as you take it well, you can give it back. Nothing to be offended by.
No.
And that's why I was scared of getting in that community is I don't want to offend them. Right? They have a history of being a certain group of people. You don't want to piss those people off. Or my small YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers is done with.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I started and you were like, damn, dude, you're doing drag queen shit? You got to be careful. I'm like, I know. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm really getting myself into. One video did well. 1.3K views.
Yeah.
After 3 of those videos, I realized that they are just people.
Yeah.
In fact, they're so much just people, they're not that interesting. Period. That's why I had to stop. They're just like me and you.
Right. You think that they're another being or another, even like a homeless person.
Like they got a crazy story.
You think that they just live in a different world than you, but at the end of the day, they're just another dude. Or a girl or whatever.
Exactly.
It's just a person.
Yeah. And they're not different from us, so it wasn't interesting enough for me to continue doing. Now, I'm in between series, I guess. Maybe. Now I just get wasted downtown and ask people questions.
Now you're just taking my concept to the streets.
Yeah,
making
am.
like a 30-minute video.
I'm like,
out of
why
it.
are you so? What makes you horny? Answer that. Literally, it's questions like that.
I love it though. It's perfect because people are so caught off guard. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, okay.
Dude, it's so funny how it happens too. Like, I'm like, you want to be on YouTube? And they're like, I guess. Yeah, what's up?
Sure.
What kind of questions? Bro, I would not tell them what I was about to ask until that camera was on. And I'm going to continue doing that
No,
tonight.
because you have to get the real reaction.
Yes, I want that.
You
Like,
have to.
When I got a black dude on and I asked him, Black History Month or Women's History Month? Go. My girlfriend's a black woman, okay? She was standing right there, and he made direct eye contact with her. Didn't know what the fuck to say. That's what I'm looking for.
I wanted so bad for somebody to be like, neither.
Dude, oh, that would have been the best. It's fucked up, but
yeah,
it would have
it
made
is.
me
It
laugh.
is.
I did have one woman who was ballsy enough. It was a white woman. Even though my black girlfriend was standing there.
Yeah.
I said, Women's History Month or Black History Month, go. And she looked at that camera and she said, women.
She was staring at your girlfriend, Raven?
No, she was looking at the camera, but Raymond was right there. And she was like, Women History Month. I'm like,
It's kind of ballsy.
and then again, I did ask a woman, you know, you see a hot dude at the club, you want him to come talk to you. What do you fucking say to him? She's like, I'm gay. I was like,
You're
what?
like, gay.
What's that? How are you gay? But you're in a dress. You can't be gay. You're in a dress.
Dude, but that's what makes it perfect. And that's the only way it works, right?
Yeah.
Is those real reactions, real interactions. You can't stage that shit.
No. I don't want to be that guy who like, oh, obviously this dude already, like, they would be like, what kind of questions? I had one dude I couldn't post because he's like, yeah, I'll do a fucking, what kind of questions? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's nothing big.
And then
Right.
you asked him.
And then I asked him.
You dropped the bomb. And
And
he's
then I
like,
dropped the bomb. He's like, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. And he walked away.
no shit.
And I was like, that's fine. That's going to happen. But then there's really cool people that will be
At
like,
the same time, though, you don't know what kind of thing you're going on. So if you came up to me and you asked me Black History Month or Women's History Month, I'd probably be like, both are amazing.
Exactly, and that's
I
what
love
I
both of them.
you want them to be nervous.
Yeah.
You want them to be like, dude, what the
Like,
fuck
what is
kind of
this?
questions? Yeah. You're like, what's worse, KKK or just regular Republicans? They'd be like,
they should both burn in hell.
I hate all. Dude, you could ask a Republican. You could ask a Republican, vote yes or vote no. They're in front of a camera. They're gonna be like, I fucking hate abortion. I fucking love abortion.
Vote maybe?
All for it, dude. People's views will switch if there's a camera on them.
Oh yeah.
You can ask someone in the KKK downtown, be like, would you do you listen to rap music? I love rap music. Rap music my favorite.
I love listening to rap tunes. My favorite is Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne and Little Hip Hop Head Boy.
Dude, if you could find a legit KKK member, that would be insane.
Dude, I know, I've been thinking about it.
That would be crazy.
Like, I need to find like a racist.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to end on? What to look forward to maybe for the rest of the...
If you guys are still listening to this conversation, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you very, very much. Go check out the Homie Seth on YouTube. He's putting out some great shit. He's a great host, and he's going to be back on here again at some point. So thank you to you all. We've made some fucked up jokes tonight.
We are sorry now. Before you cancel.
We are stupid.
We are already sorry. Don't cancel us. No need. Don't get mad. We're
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You want to maybe a formal apology first from you?
Yes.
You're the host. Apologize for your actions.
Up yours, woke liberals. We'll see who cancels who.
Yep. All right.
No, I'm kidding. That was have you seen Jordan Peterson's apology video?
No.
You know who that guy is?
I know who Jordan Peterson is.
He posted a new video, dude, and I was dying. My friend was playing it at the lake, and he goes, "Up yours, woke leftists. We'll
His
see who
voice,
cancels who."
It's like the least hard thing that you could go up.
Up yours, woke
Ben
leftists. We'll see
Shapiro.
who cancels who.
That's what sucks is in the Republican side is like these people are not threatening. Like Ben Shapiro. Well, actually.
Well, actually, if you look at what I did there, I shotgunned that beer in 2.6 seconds.
I timed it. I looked at the timer and everything. You can't deny that. It's on Google.
No, I got love for you all. Every guest that I found on here, thank you so much for coming on. If you're listening to this right now, it's an honor and it's a privilege that you came on here, gave me an hour out of your time just to bullshit with me and make this a reality. Thanks to every listener out there, every watcher, everybody on YouTube, all my haters in the comments.
UPS haters.
UPS haters. Thank you so much. It's been a fun ride, and I'm going to keep on doing it. We'll do this again sometime. Maybe this was fun.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Just blew by.
I don't have a drink left, but cheers. I go
Thank
get
you,
drunk
sir.
that time.
Cheers.
All right. That's it, boys. That was a good one.